Hey, welcome back, everyone. We're going to go in here into Game 2 of this series of Davizinho versus WP from Round 1 of the winner's bracket of the Nebraska Esports StarCraft 2 Open. So let me just load the replay up right now. Make sure we have sound and everything. That'll be helpful. So here we go. And as you know from Game 1, Davizinho did win that game, so he's up 1-0 in the series. These are best of 3, and so if he can win this one, he will close it out and continue on. And if WP wins this one, he gets to stick it out to go to the third match. A loser of the series goes down into the elimination bracket, then has to fight their way up through a bunch of best of ones, and then a best of 3 at the end there. So it's a little more sketchy in that losers bracket because of the best of 1 format. But we'll see what can be done in this series to see if WP can pull it out. As we're waiting for things to start up, a big shout out again to our sponsors, QuickTech Computers, for sponsoring us, providing the computers on which we played during the LAN portion of this tournament, as well as Greenfield's Pancake House, Da Vinci's Pizza, and Champions Fun Center. Thank you guys for supporting esports in Nebraska and the Midwest. Everyone should check them out. Definitely check out QuickTech Computers at quicktech.net. That's tech with TEQ in the name. They do custom builds for gaming rigs and do it at a very affordable price, so check them out and support them for being such awesome people and supporting esports in Nebraska. So back into this game, it does look like Davizinho as a green Zerg down here in the bottom right. He's going to go for that gas before pool opener again. Like I was saying, that's very standard in this matchup. It's very safe in this matchup. It allows you to put some pressure on. It lets you hold off a lot of pressure as well, and it lets you, importantly, do that kind of baneling aggression if you want to. And now, interestingly, it looks like WP not going to opt for the similar build, but is going to opt for a hatch first build. Now, note, he did lose the first game, and so as the loser, he gets to choose the map on which they're playing. And we are playing on MLG Tal'Darim Altar. And the nice thing about this map is a 4-player map. Unlike Antigua Shipyard, it does not force you to be in cross position, so your opponent can spawn in any position. It's a very large map, and so I'm guessing he's gambling on not being scouted right away and being able to have time to get this hatch up and get some defenses out against any kind of early aggression. And we'll see if that can pan out for him or not. It's a pretty big risky gamble. I don't know, you know, if when you're down a game in a series, I don't know if I like that decision, but we'll see if it can pay off for him. Now, it looks like Davizinho does have his first lings out, does have speed started. It's about halfway done. He's going to continue scouting. He knows his opponent is not in the top position because he didn't see any creep there. Does intercept this drone that has moved out to scout, and it does look like he is probably going to scout the actual cross position last, and so he knows now that they're in cross positions. At least I believe he does. Maybe he doesn't quite yet, but as soon as he scouts, you know, this bottom left position, he's gonna know exactly where his opponent is and probably start being really aggressive. So we do see the baneling nest again has gone down for Davizinho, so it looks like he is indeed looking to be aggressive. WP doing a good job this time of getting his defenses up. That's kind of a weird glitch there with the foliage. Sorry, but it looks like WP is going to be getting some defenses up here with that spine crawler. Going to push off those early lings with his queen and those lings of his own. And will we see WP? It looks like Davizinho. It looks like he does, want to go for that baneling pressure anyway. So morphing those banelings just outside of WP's base. He's not aware of these, though he should be suspecting something because he saw those lings run back there and hasn't seen them since. And you always kind of have to be like, well, if those lings just disappeared, there's probably banelings somewhere. So anyway, looks like Davizinho going to hold off for just a bit, get a few more lings to reinforce. WP should be aware of all these because his overlord does see them. Yeah, it looks like one ling moving out, picks off one baneling. That's actually a very good trade, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it again. And this is it. We have the banelings moving in now that they're on creep. They're going to move a lot faster. But, oh, they all detonate on those roaches. That's a big misstep there for Davizinho, and actually a very solid defense by WP. Now, during all of that, Davizinho was able to get an expansion of his own up, and so while he is kind of behind in terms of in terms of production, because his hatch was a bit late, he's actually not going to be that far behind economically for very long. And that's part of what I was saying about this opener. It's very safe. It allows you to put on some aggression. It allows you to defend a lot of aggression. But if you see that your opponent has done something like this, a hatch first sort of opener, you can then throw down a fairly early hatch of your own as well and just not overcommit to your aggression. And you won't even be that far behind economically either. So things are looking pretty even still, if you ask me. Now, you do see the food counts are starting to skyrocket ahead for WP, just because he did have that economy up sooner, does have a lot more, not that many more workers right now, but does have a bit more gas. It's going to allow him to get those roaches out pretty quickly. Once roaches get started for Davizinho, I wouldn't be surprised to see these numbers close up in terms of the gap. And so the window of which WP has an advantage is actually pretty short, and I would like to see him kind of make use of it if he's able, but he's opting to continue, bulking up his economy. Both players right now going for a lair. It looks like WP going for upgrade, so it does not look like he's actually planning on any sort of quick timing here. Immediately playing more for the long term and getting those upgrades, and we'll see how that works out. Just because Davizinho has pretty much caught up here in economy, and it's just army that he's behind in at the moment. And like I said, I would expect to see that army difference go down pretty quick here if as soon as he decides to just start making more roaches. It looks like he's going to probably go ahead and take down these rocks and get his third started here soon. Would like to see WP doing something with these roaches and do something similar. We're just going to have to wait, I guess, to see what either player decides to do. Both players getting their upgrades. Interesting, Davizinho getting speed on his overlords, though, and that's going to help him scout quite a bit of what's going on here in WP's base, as at present he doesn't really have, oops, that's the wrong button, doesn't really have a really good idea of what's going on in the main or anything like that. Does look like WP is going to go ahead and start taking down these rocks. Speed just finishing now for Davizinho. He's going to see all this, know that the third is not done yet, know that his opponent is planning on taking it here soon, and so that may prompt a timing attack pretty soon out of Davizinho. It looks like he is actually gearing up for something like that. Both players doing very similar things though right now. Both going for that roach infester sort of style. Looks like Davizinho just a touch faster on the infestors than his opponent, and getting that pathogen glands up sooner as well. So he's going to have his infestors out a bit earlier, and that might actually make a huge difference, as he'll have just a little bit more energy to get those fungal growths off, which can do just tons and tons of damage. Both players are taking a third right now, and it's kind of a funny situation in which we see both players doing very similar things. But here looks like the first major deviation. Davizinho gearing up for 2-2, and looks like WP instead opting for burrow on his roaches, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him grab that burrowed move as well. And then again, the burrow could just be for his infestors, which will let them kind of come in and do sneak attacks with infested Terrans and such. So, but we're about to find out which is going to be the effective timing attack, I guess. As this burrow one is going to finish up a bit sooner than the +2, the 2-2 attack timing that Davizinho has. Now he has made a ton of lings right now, and I'm not sure. Yeah, it does look like WP is aware of all these lings running into the side. Now Davizinho does have vision of all these roaches, so he's not actually going to go in with those lings just yet, but he's going to keep them down here and give him the possibility of running in and being annoying. He's going to run a handful of these into the main, Does run in here and get a few of them into the main. Not going to be able to do a ton of damage. That one fungal, very well executed. These other roaches going to have to pull back and not run away too far away from that hatchery, but they do chase off the other group of lings. So actually a great defense right now from the harassment with these lings. The WP's defense, I should say. But that looks like it was all just sort of a distraction, a diversion, to allow Davizinho to get this third up and saturated as quick as possible. Looking at the harvester count, still pretty even. WP actually ahead by 4 at present, but he needs to transfer a lot of these workers down to his third as he's oversaturated in his main and pretty dang saturated in his natural as well. And so, as you can see, that's going to be cutting into the income that he could be having right now. Still way ahead in workers though at present. Yeah, both players kind of being really passive right now. Looks like Davizinho's going to go ahead and take his fourth. Would like to see him do some aggression here though, as he doesn't want to allow his opponent to have all the breathing room that he would like and be able to get a fourth up of his own. It would be nice to see one of the players attack the other at some point here soon. Looks like Davizinho shares my sentiment and is going to go ahead and start moving these roaches and infestors out. This one overlord is doing a great job of spotting everything for WP, so he's going to go ahead and be able to protect his third with his own army, but it looks like Davizinho going to go ahead and get in here immediately. An amazing preemptive fungals on that army is keeping half of the army of WP pretty much out of this battle. Fungals going down everywhere. I do think Davizinho has the upper hand right now. He's going to throw out a couple infested Terrans to be really annoying. Looks like WP going to throw out some infested Terrans of his own. And these infested Terrans might barely be able to hold this off with the queens in the fray as well. No, I don't think it's going to be enough. Seeing some amazing transfusions going on right now. And actually, these queens barely hold it off. And I'm actually really impressed that he was able to keep this hatch from going down. That's actually really kind of surprising. Wow. Well, we're going to see Davizinho did have a couple roaches down here that were burrowed, and he does get those taken out. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that last engagement. We do see Davizinho is slightly ahead in the food count. Worker count's pretty even. I want to say Davizinho came out ahead in that because he got his fourth up, which is actually going to come into play quite a bit with production, and especially since this main is still very oversaturated for WP. He needs to get a fourth up of his own, especially since his main is going to probably mine out here pretty quickly. Davizinho massing up again on roaches. Probably going to go for another attack here soon, but would at this point, you know, he has great vision of the map. He's going to know when his opponent goes to take a fourth, and I think he's looking in good shape. Now WP interestingly went for drops, and I don't know. Both players going for drops actually. Looks like WP getting drops of his own, getting getting Ultralisks as well, and it looks like both players maybe just kind of don't really know what exactly they want to do with a ZVZ that's gone on this long. ZVZs tend to be pretty quick and dirty. This one's gone on for much longer than the typical ZVZ goes. So we do see Davizinho taking this fifth, and that's going to put him even further ahead. WP getting mined out in his main, has moved over a lot of those workers to his third, but his main is not going to be contributing much here soon, so he needs to end up doing something as well. These roaches from Davizinho have burrow and burrow move 3-3 almost done. Hydralisks moving out, picking off a bunch of overlords as they do. That's going to supply block WP, which is going to make this engagement very difficult to deal with, as he is pretty deeply blocked at this point in time, which is making it hard to remax remax effectively when this army comes and engages, forcing him to remake a lot of those overlords, which are going to cut into the army that he has available right now. And here comes the engagement. Huge roach force attacking here at the third of WP. Great fungals going down for WP. A lot of these roaches in the back not able to contribute. Some of the hydralisks not even really getting into it until just now. But this many roaches with the hydralisks behind is just going to be too much, I think, for WP. Even if Davizinho loses his entire force, as you can see, he is just remaxing instantly with roaches and ultralisks behind that. These infestors all out of energy, not going to be able to do anything for the rest of this fight. Need to get out of there. Actually, this one infestor does have a bit of energy. We'd like to see maybe a couple infested Terrans have gone down, but I don't think it's going to be enough anymore. And we do see oh, pardon me, something going on in the natural there. It looks like a second group ran into the natural and took that out. And so WP pretty much out of this game at this point. Yeah, he's going to continue to try to make more roaches and kind of hold off this push, but a huge roach reinforcing army is coming up here through the middle. And as soon as he sees that, I wouldn't be surprised to see him tap out of this game. These roaches going to go ahead, move up here into the natural, and kind of getting split up by a couple of those roaches. We're going to go ahead and pick off these spines, these roaches, and they can pretty much take out whatever they want, as WP does not have an army at all. Here's those infestors that took out the natural. They're just hiding up here in these drops, and that's what was going on. Infestor drops taking out bases, and there's the GG. So we do see Davizinho take the series over WP. So Davizinho continues on into round 2 of the winners bracket in the Nebraska Esports StarCraft 2 Open. WP goes down into the elimination bracket, where he'll have to fight his way back up amongst all the other people that get knocked down there. Those are all best of 1, so it can get a little cheesy through there, but we'll see if he will be able to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. A big shout out again to our sponsors, QuickTech Computers, Greenfield's Pancake House, Da Vinci's Pizza, and Champions Fun Center. Thanks for supporting NESPA. Thanks for supporting esports in Nebraska and the Midwest. And we'll be back with more matches from this tournament as the days go by. So thanks again for watching. Peace.